After watching this video, you'll know how to actually be productive even if you lack discipline, because I will give you a system that will work for you, giving you back 4 to 6 hours per week, depending on how terrible you at managing your time right now. I know this because in my first 3 years as a creative director at Typeform, I went from nearly getting fired to leading a team with the lowest turnover in the entire company. So what I want to do today is to share with you the same productivity system that helped me scale my team from 0 to 15 creatives, covering time, communication, and the often overlooked key to productivity, energy management. And at the end, I'll show you my real calendar so you can actually see how it all works in action. Listen, I'll make this so simple you'll have to tell a friend, because you really don't need to spend a single dollar or have any previous knowledge to implement this productivity system. The biggest mistake people make with productivity is leaving their time up for grabs. If your day isn't planned, someone else will plan it for you. That's how you end up in back-to-back meetings, answering messages all day, and wondering why you never get anything done. Recurring meetings are the best example of this. Those weekly catch-ups sitting in your calendar, repeating with no agenda. These are just updates that should have been a Slack thread. It's a waste of time. Cancel, restructure them, or make them async. I'll tell you later how. Meetings should solve problems, not create them. Here's how you actually do it. First, take control of your calendar. Become a master scheduler. Scheduling isn't just writing things down. It's a skill. Like learning an instrument, it takes strategy. Start with these 4 scheduling strategies. First, write to-do list. Just kidding. Unlike most people think, to-do lists don't make you more productive, they just make you more precise. They help you remember things, not get them done. Most people dump everything into a to-do list and hope they'll somehow find time. You won't. You have to create the time. And to-do lists don't create time. Calendars do. The problem with most schedules isn't just that they're packed, it's that they're random. Your brain jumps from deep focus to meetings to execution without any structure, which burns through your energy fast. Instead, your workday should have a rhythm. The first real strategy will help you solve this: time theming. Time theming means grouping similar types of work together so you're not constantly shifting gears. For me, for example, mornings are for deep work, writing, strategy, content, and afternoons can be used for meetings and reviews. The work that requires the most brain power happens when the energy is fresh, and the more social, interactive work happens later when you don't need that razor-sharp focus. If you look at my calendar, you can see how every block here is intentional. Everything has a place, which means nothing gets left behind. Once your work is themed, you have to protect those blocks of time. You can do this with time blocking. This is where things get locked in. Block time on your calendar for everything, not just meetings, but deep work, thinking time, even breaks. If it's not scheduled, it doesn't exist. When I say everything, I mean everything. Workouts, lunch, even time you read. Once that's done, track it by color coding it. This makes it ridiculously easy to see where your time is going. I have different colors for deep work, meetings, content creation, and even people management. I can look at my week and instantly see what type of work I need to get done and prepare for it. It also helps to spot bad combinations quickly. For example, scheduling an important meeting right after filming a video like this probably isn't the best idea. With color coding, you can instantly spot these conflicts and adjust your schedule before they become a problem. Now, even if you time block everything perfectly, there's one thing that can still wreck your schedule: unexpected work. And let's be real, something unexpected always comes up. That's why you need to start time buffering. Instead of stacking your day from start to finish, leave a dedicated unbookable block. For me, that's right after lunch. If something urgent comes up, I already have space for it, so I don't have to push everything back. If nothing comes up, great. That's extra time for me to think, reset, or even get ahead of something else. Okay, let's say you follow these tactics to the letter and you become a master scheduler. At this point, your personal schedule is locked in. You've got time theming, time blocking, color coding, and buffers in place. You're operating at peak efficiency. But there's a problem. Productivity isn't just about you. If your team isn't on the same page, you'll still be drowning in distractions, random check-ins, and meetings that go nowhere. And you know what? This is where most people fail. You can streamline your own schedule, but without a system for your team, you'll always be reacting instead of moving forward. So I actually want to demonstrate to you how dramatic this can get, because at one point, it almost got me fired. So you see, when I became the creative director at Typeform, my team was just me and one designer. It was my first leadership role, and honestly, I wasn't sure what a creative director was supposed to do. But I knew one thing: I wanted to make Typeform the best brand in tech, and I put all that pressure on myself. As my team grew, I wanted every project to meet my standards so I could defend it. Before knowing it, I was micromanaging everyone in my team. Every task had to go through me. I had to see it, tweak it, and approve it. We had no real structure. Whenever someone finished a task, they booked time with me to review it. My days turned into a non-stop cycle of interruptions, leaving me with zero time to focus on my own work. I wasn't just frustrating my team, I was making myself completely ineffective. Then, after a 2-week vacation, HR sat me down for a career-changing conversation. My team was unhappy, and both the quality and quantity of my work had suffered. Productivity isn't just about getting things done. Most entrepreneurs associate productivity with efficiency, but in reality, it's about empathy. So I started empowering my team more, giving them more ownership instead of hovering over every detail. Relationships improved, morale went up, and everything started running more smoothly. But there was still one big problem. I was still overwhelmed. Wanting to be available for my team, I let them book my time freely, leaving no room for my own work. So I learned that doing things right is efficiency, but doing the right things is empathy. I had to figure out my team dynamics. That's where team rituals come in. Team rituals are recurring habits that bring consistency and efficiency to how the team works. Because if scheduling is about owning your time, rituals are about aligning the team's time. They can be daily stand-ups, weekly check-ins, retrospectives, or even casual coffee chats. But as I mentioned before, if they're not managed properly, they become major productivity killers. So how can we manage our team's time? Well, it took me a minute to figure it out, but I came up with this idea of branded meetings. So what we did is quite simple. Instead of just calling these regular meetings weekly check-ins or review meetings, I gave my team's recurring meetings a name, a purpose, and a vibe. Because when meetings feel intentional and unique, people actually care. Oh, and while we're talking about making meetings more intentional, let's make this moment more intentional too. From now on, this isn't just an ordinary video section. This is now the official alignment ritual. And here's how it works. You take a deep breath, acknowledge that this video is in fact improving your life, and then you smash that subscribe button like it's a pointless meeting you're about to cancel. Done? Well, congratulations! We're now aligned. Now let me give you a couple of real examples in return. So for me, Monday mornings are for planning. Sure, we could have called it weekly planning, but we branded it as morning alignment. Why? Because it shifts the focus from work to the people doing it. The word alignment makes the team feel connected, like they're part of something bigger, not just ticking boxes on a to-do list. And another example, when I was back at Typeform, Thursdays were all about sharing work. Instead of just having demo sessions, we rebranded them as brand forums. That small shift immediately set the tone. It wasn't just about presenting, it became a conversation. A space where people didn't just show what they did, but actively contributed, challenged, and refined ideas together. And look at how my meetings are structured. They're not just generic check-ins. Every one of them has a specific purpose. That's why my recurring sessions like mentoring, sprint planning, brainstorming don't feel like a waste of time. They're branded moments with clear expectations. Having these unique sessions that have a clear purpose, vibe, and agenda makes people feel like they're part of a unique culture, which makes people more invested and passionate about what they're doing. So when it comes to adding purpose to your meetings, keep this in mind because it's one of the most important things probably in this video. Meetings should always serve one of these 4 functions: idea generation and problem solving, decision making, alignment and planning, or feedback and retrospective. If a meeting doesn't fit one of these, cancel it. It's probably better done async, which brings us to communication management. If time management is about structuring your day, communication management is about controlling the flow of information. Because if you don't, your calendar might look great, but you'll still be drowning in messages, Slack pings, and random quick calls that eat up your focus. Think about this: asynchronous communication first, real-time second. Not everything needs a meeting. And since you're already here on the Supercat channel, you probably know where I'm going with this. Supercat is bringing you this content, so no wonder it makes async video messaging ridiculously fast and simple. No scheduling, no back and forth, just record, send, and move on. And since it just launched, it's completely free. If something actually needs a discussion, it gets scheduled. We obviously have a link in the description below, so if you're curious, check it out because it's still completely free. Something else I want to talk about is batch responses, because checking your messages all day keeps your brain in reactive mode. Instead, I set dedicated time blocks for emails and Slack so I control when I engage, not the other way around. Literally turn it off. If possible, actually switch to airplane mode while doing deep work. You'll thank me later. And finally, set response expectations. If people expect instant replies, they'll keep pulling you in. I make it very clear when I'm available and when I'm in deep work. You can indicate that on your calendar, for example, or labeling yourself as away on Slack or any communication channel you use. It's all about expectations. When your communication is structured, your calendar stays protected, your focus stays intact, and your team works better without constant interruptions. Time and communication are the foundation of productivity, just like physiological needs in Maslow's pyramid. Without them, everything collapses. But hey, what if I told you there's a top layer that unlocks true productivity? A hidden factor that takes a system from merely managing to truly thriving. Because let's be real, most people treat their calendar like a storage unit, just stuffing in as many tasks as possible. But if you want to actually perform at your best, you need space. You need rhythm. Productivity isn't about squeezing in more. It's about knowing when to push and when to recover. And here's the secret weapon that most people ignore: energy management. You can have the most optimized schedule in the world, but if you're exhausted, distracted, or mentally drained, none of it matters. Productivity isn't just about managing time. It's about managing your ability to show up and do great work. That's why I structure my calendar around my natural energy levels. Mornings are for deep creative work, when my brain is sharp. Afternoons are for meetings and reviews, when I don't need that same level of focus. I work with my energy, not against it. Here's another hack. Block energy resets. In my calendar, you'll see breaks, commutes, even moments that might seem unproductive, but they're actually what keep me from burning out. One of the most effective ways to protect focus is using 90-minute deep work blocks. That's the sweet spot. Long enough to get into flow, but not so long that you drain yourself. Anything longer and your brain starts running on fumes. After every deep work block, I take intentional breaks to reset before jumping into the next thing. That was a lot, but now it's your turn. Here are your 5 action items to start designing your system today. Theme your time. Decide when you'll do deep work, meetings, and creative tasks. 2. Block it on your calendar. If it's not scheduled, it won't happen. 3. Create your own color code. Assign a color to each type of work. 4. Add buffers. Leave unbookable time for unexpected tasks so you don't fall behind. And 5. Protect your energy. Try this for 5 business days and tell me how it went.